very, very important thing that I preach to everyone I talk about trading is that when we're reading charts, we're actually reading a narrative of the participants of the market.
So, Gil Ben Hur, welcome on the podcast. How's it going today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pleasure to have you here. So, in the interview, that's going to be quite interesting. So, we'll talk about a progression of a trader that went into something bigger. So, you are the founder of the 5%ers, which is a platform that a lot of people here know on the podcast. I've been hearing about it a lot before. So, I want to talk about you as a trader first, and then how that turned out to be in the future, how you kind of progress into creating a platform. So, first question I want to ask you is, what is one quote that inspires you?
Once stumbled upon this quote, and I actually embraced it to myself, and it's really aligned my trading philosophy. It's really clicked. It's luck is when preparation meets opportunity. The reason I really love this phrase, and it's kind of leads me through my professional trading career, is that many people think that the market is random or is moving by noise, and there are a lot of things that are not being explained. And it's partly true. In trading, what we're doing, we're managing risk, and we cannot call anything that we do as luck, or the way that we should be participating in such an environment with a lot of unknown is to be well prepared for any outcome. And so if you have any opportunity and you've done all your preparation and you know what to look for and you have all the action plans ready to be executed, then you would be taking these opportunities. So there's no actual luck. And this phrase is something that I really work by, and it's done a lot of good for my trading philosophy when I evolved it.
Awesome. I like that quote for sure. That's a really good one. So I want to go back in time, and I want you to share with people what happened. Like, how did you begin to trade? Exactly what happened? What was your first trade like, or your first moment into trading like?
Well, my story is, what do you want to hear it from the very back history or when I started trading?
Yeah, let's go back like a long time ago, and then we'll kind of progress with that. I want to hear.
In the very beginning, I was very not oriented to any financial business. I grew up with a single mom, and she was an artist. All I knew about life is art. She was doing these big forms of abstracts, and all my youth, I was just sniffing oil painting. My role model was to be an artist, to be something in creative. And when I finished school, I got into an advertising agency and as a copywriter, and it was cool. Everything was very nice, but it wasn't really something. I didn't like the commercial aspect of creative. So I went to film school, and then after film school, I established my own production company. But I'm coming from Israel. It's a very little country, and we didn't have a very developed industry here. So it was very hard to maintain real income from that field. Plus, I wasn't the best on this. So then I met my wife. We had 3 kids. We have 3 kids now. And I realized I cannot do something with my production company. I don't understand how business actually works. I don't understand anything about money. And so I took myself into all these courses, to understand more about investments and more about how money work, about being an entrepreneur and everything. So this non-formalic education built my foundations to create a business. But while I was learning these courses, I stumbled upon financial markets. And back these days, it was like the early 2000. Forex was the very new kid on the block, and it was just everywhere. They were advertising it everywhere. So I was hooked to this. And also because Forex was giving out all these free demo, and it was very easy to enter the market, free practice. It was something that I was hooked on, and ever since I stick to it. So then I was looking for ways to actually trade and make profit. I did my first technical analysis course, and everything was very easy and simplistic and graphic. So I just loved it. But when I was trying to actually work in it, I realized that things are not that simplistic. So I was, for a few years after, I was looking for the system and looking for all these magic tricks, and I've done all the mistake everybody do, like looking for automatic trading to avoid emotional stuff, finding the most technical strategies that will tell me when to go in and when to go out and everything. But something was always missing for me, and I didn't have real understanding why is price doing whatever he does. And then one day I hang out in a group for a while with this mentor from Forex Factory, and he was doing great, and we were following him, and we were thinking that we need to really imitate what he's doing. It was very technical method with moving averages and all kind of these rules, and it gives you like 3 or 4 signals a day if you would do a day trading. Not enough, and not really something that I really understand what it happened. You just need to stare at the screen and see where everything is aligned, and then you have to be there to execute. And that was very, very tiring, and not many of us really succeeded in that. So, and then one friend from that group told me about the Pi thread on Forex Factory. Pi is the initials for price is everything. And it's a very comprehensive and elaborated and huge subject, very, very hardcore, that actually defines why, gives an answer why price is moving, why a price is turning, why price is breaking levels. All the answers are in there, but it was very hard stuff to actually understand it from scratch. So I was realizing that there are answers elsewhere, but I wasn't really ready to digest what's in Pi. So I got another suggestion to go first and understand what is supply and demand, which is the core for everything that was discussed on the Pi thread. I learned the supply and demand, and just after 15 minutes reading the first PDF that explaining what is supply and demand, and then after seeing few Sam Saden videos explaining the concept of supply and demand, I just realized that there is an answer for why price is doing what it's doing, why it's behaving like this, why it's moving on zigzag, why it turns. And from that on, I was stuck on that concept, which is the core for everything I've done afterward. And soon after, success was arriving for me. I joined this group that forked out from the Pi thread, and they were teaching all sort of advanced price action methods on top of these understanding. And there was this specific guy that I saw on Pi Trade that he was just ripping the Australian, the Aussie 5-minute chart. Like, he took a whole session and he was just running up and down all the zigzag. He just took his trades on every tiny turns on the market. So I said, I want to learn from that guy. And so I hooked up on him, and he was my mentor for a while. And we've created together a website called readthemarket.com, which is not available anymore. But this guy, If Myante, was really, he still is a genius guy. He really understands and brings a lot of depth into understanding of the market. And what I was learning from him is very, very important thing that I preach to everyone I talk about trading is that when we're reading charts, we're actually reading a narrative of the participants of the market. We should look at chart and see who are on the upper hand, the buyers or the sellers, the institutional, what their motives are, and all these aspects, and all their motivations, and what are their future motivation. And we try to predict what will be their next move and try to work out with this. And with advanced price action, we use all these sort of confirmation to see how we can time better our entries in the market. So we've creating this Read the Market, and I was one of the partners. And eventually, this community grew up, and there was a lot of demand for premium teaching. So we've done that also, and we created a premium education platform for readthemarket.com. And we've created a very good team of traders, and eventually we wanted to create a community that actually trade together on a common pool account, so we can just help each other to actually be better analysts and better in trading and extract more opportunities from the market. So I took that mission on myself, and I was starting looking for all kind of solutions, how we can just gather people from all around the world, and how we can trade together on the same pool account. And I found many providers and business partners, and I gathered them together, and I've created this fund for ourselves. Eventually, after I presented this to the community, it didn't really work out, and I was left with all these papers and all these agreements with the partners. So I decided it's too good of idea to leave it in the drawer, and I decided to take it into public. So I did some adjustments, and this is how we formed the 5%ers afterward, and went to public on the internet. And we're now like 3 years on air, and we get a lot of good feedbacks from our traders. We're happy with how it evolves.
Can you explain people what the 5%ers is exactly?
Yeah. So today, the 5%ers is a private fund, and we are running a funding traders and growth program. That means that we are collecting talented Forex traders from all over the world to work on a remote basis. They will work from their own computers anywhere in the world. They can provide any trading system. They can bring in any trading system to the fund, and we are giving out the full funds for the trading. So the deal is pretty much simple. The traders bring the trading, we bring the capital, and we split the outcome, the profit. So this is basically what the Fivers is.
So did you face any challenge where you were starting the 5%ers?
Oh yeah, we did. Well, at first you come as a new brand, and there's a lot of suspicious in the Forex markets and among Forex traders, because Forex is a non-centralized market, and there's no big brother that actually control what brokers do. So there's a lot of suspicious in the market, and we were a new brand, and we were having a very hard time getting suspicious people, and people were writing bad stuff about us without actually talking to us or understanding what the program is. So the beginning, and I believe it's like in any other thing, the beginning is always hard until you gain reputation and people get to know you, and some people try you and they give out good reviews and they tell their friends. So the beginning was very, very hard. The challenge is still the fact that people are not aware that they can be funded, or they can actually take their trading into the next level of career, and instead of trading with their own capital, they can sign into a prop firm like ours, and there are a few others that do the same. Not many, but there are a few, and so people are not aware that such opportunity exists in the market today. So it's still a challenge to tell people, hey, there is a new thing that is on the industry finally, and we know that there are so many talents hiding everywhere in every corner of the world. You don't need to live by Wall Street anymore to find a job at something that you're good in. So, or if you want to have a job as a trader part-time, it is possible finally, because of the model that we and our colleagues are working in. So these are the challenges now for the 5%ers.
And how did you address the fact that people were suspicious about the 5%ers? Did you have to tell them something, or how did you deal with that?
Well, we try very much to gain trust by not pushing and not being overselling everything. We want to lay out the opportunity and let people decide if this is right for them. Another thing that we do in that term is that we've laid out a lot of information as much as possible on our website, including the terms and conditions and everything. And also on the sign-up form, we give all these disclaimers so people will truly understand all the tiny bits and of the trading limitations or requirements that we're having, and we're asking from them. And we try to do that. Another thing is we're not hiding as people from behind this online website. We're trying to put our face in front and show people that we are real people, that we are traders, that we're thinking on the traders' eye level, and we try to host webinars. If people coming to our chat, we talk. We conduct a very long talk with traders. We give out a lot of information. We answer all the questions, even the hard ones. We give answers to bullies, to people to haters. Every question with every star, we treat it in a very serious and respectful way. And I think with that, we can gain the trust of people. And so people try us out. And once they try us out, they understand that everything we said before is usually meets their expectations. At least this is what I'm trying to think of.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So let's say some people want to get into the 5%ers. They want to be funded by your company. What are the steps that they have to go through to be able to receive money from the prop firm?
The thing is, people are very dazzled by the opportunity that somebody would give them fund, and but there are some requirements at first. Because we don't know these traders and we cannot really evaluate track records of the past. We don't know how authentic they are. We really have to test people on real-time basis. See how people are actually trading, what they know, and how they can apply our risk management requirements with their trading strategy. So the way that we do it is every trader that wish to begin has to start with an evaluation period. Our evaluation period is conducted on a real live trading account. However, the trader is only at that point is sharing the risk that we are taking for the evaluation period. That means that if our risk is capped by 4% loss, that would be the enrollment payment that we're asking from the trader. So let's bring it to numbers. So let's say we will provide you $10,000 trading account to be evaluated on. It's a real $10,000. You would be paying $400. The maximum risk will be $400. So if that account is on a $400 drawdown, then the evaluation is being terminated. So only at that point, we take no risk on the trader. It helps us to learn what are the qualities of the trader, how we can adopt our risk requirements on top of his trading style. And it's also screen out people that are not serious enough or not ready to take that step in. So I mentioned the risk management requirements, which are pretty much simple. We require having a stop loss at 1.5% risk for every trade. You cannot go below a certain drawdown, which is 4%. And you have the maximum leverage that you can use, which is usually 5-to-1, with one exception that if you lock risk, you can have more and more as much as you progress with the trade and you shift your stop loss above break-even point. You can add more to that. So in that term, you can go all the way to 100-to-1 if you get there. And you have a simple goal to make a 6% profit. Once you make it, then you are an official funded trader of ours. You receive $40,000 account. And from that on, we have this milestones plan for every 10% that the trader makes on a net gain. We double the account. So this is how the program actually works. So there's only one-time fee for entering this, but beyond that, we are the ones that paying profits to the traders.
And people might wonder, where do you find the capital to be able to fund traders? Is it provided by someone in the company, or is it provided by institutions and banks?
Well, we're backed up with a few sources, which are private funds, some of our securities of the fibers, and with that, it's pretty much enough. And we have the capabilities to host thousands of traders at this moment. And every time we have more, our community grows, so our capital that we can provide to traders. So we're good to go for the foreseen future. We can host almost anyone that comes in.
What would you tell people that think that the process is a little bit too rigid or too difficult to achieve in order to get funded?
Well, I don't think the process is hard. What is hard is, well, let's say this way. Doing 6% in profit in 6 months' time, it's something that should be achievable. We do require people to trade responsibly, not taking high leverage, and to have a stop loss at 1.5% for each trade. So that's for many traders, we actually receive good reviews from people that saying that because we enforce these requirements on them, it made them better disciplined traders. But the fact is that after all, the responsibility for the trading, for making positive pips, for taking positive pips from the market is on the trader itself. So as much as you know to take positive pips from the market, it shouldn't be hard to actually pass this qualification. And we try to be as much simple and to simplify our risk requirements that in a sense that it will not interfere with your trading strategy that you're mastering. So there should be no limitation on what you bring in terms of trading style. The only thing that you need to apply and should be new to most traders is the risk requirements. But because it's laid out in our website, they can just go practice this for a while, and once they feel ready, they can come and apply. We also have some articles explaining what should be the mentality and the attitude when you're coming to trade for a prop firm, because every prop firm has some requirements. We cannot risk 100% of the capital that we give out to traders. No trading company would do that. So when you're working for someone else, even if it was a private client of yours, you have to be responsible in some way. So you have to change that attitude. And I think that attitude is healthy for traders. And this is one of the feedbacks that we receive from traders, that they feel it is healthy and they are being built upon these qualities.
Have you seen from your traders right now that trade for the prop firm, what are some traits that they have in common? Are there some maybe mindset tricks that they have in common or ways to do things?
Because our traders are coming from many different backgrounds, we cannot really tell what most people do. And we have a lot of traders that are successful. Some traders are break even, and some traders fail at some point. What I can tell you about the profitable traders that we understand is that when we see traders that do not use the whole margin that we give them, that they don't take with one trade, they go with the full gas, stepping on the pedal all in. These are the traders that will be successful. The ones that know how to be patient and collecting pips in a turtle steps way. These are the ones that usually are more successful than others. The ones that are impatient and taking the whole leverage that they are allowed, they're usually being busted soon after. So being patient, knowing that it's a long-term game, and not trying to make it too soon. This is the key to be successful. I think not in just a prop firm, but I think in trading in general.
And what do you think this distinguishes you from other prop firm, like either Top Step or any other prop firm out there?
Well, first, I think is our approach to traders. We're trying to. There's no difference in our trading terms on every aspect, from what is the evaluation period and from being actual portfolio manager of ours. Meaning that you would be trading the very same conditions and requirements from the very, very start. Another thing is that our evaluation is being conducted on a real live trading account. So once you are being on the evaluation phase. If you if you're profitable, you are getting paid for that time. Unlike if you would go to a prop firm that would test you on a paper money demo accounts. So you're not wasting your time from the very first day. So in a sense, you can say that every trader that join up is being already funded. Although in the very initial step, they have to pay the risk, which is only 4% of the margin that we're providing. But yet the evaluation is being on a live trading account from day one. We actually have only one step before you being qualified. So that's the evaluation. You meet the 6%. You don't go for the drawdown. You don't over expose with the leverage, and you're good to go. It's only 6% to go on a live trading account. You get paid for that period. That's what distinguishes us from most of the other prop firms, the online prop firms that we know, from the classic ones that are actually in office prop firms, which is the classic, the old school prop firm. The difference is that everyone can sign in and start working. While in other prop firms, you really have to be accepted, rent your seat on the floor with other traders based on vacancy. So and also invest a lot of big amounts, like you have to sometimes 15K initial start just to buy your seat in. So these are the main differences that we bring to that this field.
I know that some prop firms don't allow certain trading style, like they would not allow, let's say, people to trade overnight or during the weekend. Is this something that you also do, or can people trade whatever they want, no matter what style they have?
No, what we're trying to do in the 5%ers, we believe that people can skin the cat with many different ways. We don't want to give education to people. We want people to come ready and mature to come and trade with us. We actually collect talented traders that already done all their learning phases. So in that term, it will be ridiculous to take a good trader and tell him, you know how to do this method, but now come and learn my method. It doesn't really work. And so we try to be as much as flexible in terms of the trading style. Saying that, it means that if you have a swinger, if you have somebody that needs to trade over the weekend because the trade hasn't reached its targets, we cannot stop this. From my market understanding, price will not get to its target on a specific time. So when we close the office, it's not necessarily tells the market that it's time to close the trade just because we close the office. So we allow, I think we are very versatile and very flexible on the trading style, and you can bring in almost every trading style that include long-term trading. So you can trade across overnight, across the weekend, hold your trades during major news events, whatever you feel like doing, it's good. You bring your trading in a very freestyle form.
So let's go ahead and talk about this. So what's your philosophy about trading?
Trading is less about your analysis style. It's less about the trading strategy that you bring in. I believe that there are a lot of trading strategies that can work and that can fit the individual personality. If you want to be a trader for living, you have to understand that trading is not a technical thing. It's a performance skill. Same like being an athlete or being, combat pilot, or you have to create your skill train for it, keep on learning all of the time. So it's not like coming to the factory, do A, B, C, D, and that work. And unfortunately, many traders, because the market is very graphic on charts, and you can draw lines and a lot of things look very logic when you draw lines on history levels. People take it too simplistic and think the market is very technical, but it isn't. The market is a story that combines a lot of different motivations in, and we have to try to read it from this. So for my time where I was able to finally give answer for why price is doing that and so is when I got into my success. So whatever trading strategy that you're doing, you have to figure out the whys. Why is price doing this and that? And if you have that logic and if you see things that clear, then you can really be profitable. And then you have to give a lot of attention for working on your individual mentality challenges, which is something very, very personal. And I urge most traders that want to take it to the next level to hook up with a mentor or with a coacher or with anyone that can help them work out the mentality challenges in the market. And then on top of that, every trading strategy has to have a very solid risk management, which is working, which should be applied with a lot of discipline. So I see a lot of traders that are not coming ready with their trading plan, and they just coming to trade freestyle based on analysis level only. And this is a very wrong thing to do. It's lack of discipline, and they are eventually blow accounts afterwards. So these are three keys that must have if you want to take your trading to the next level. To summarize it, it's knowing why price is doing this and that, really having a very deep understanding of that, working on your mental challenges, and having a very disciplined work plan, trading plan.
Nice. So what can people find if they want to connect with you or reach out or be part of the platform after they watch this interview?
We have a website, so you can go to that website, and if you have any questions about the 5%ers, then most of the answers will be there. And if you don't understand something, you can just click on the on-site chat or write us email on the forms or call us on Skype or on telephone. You can reach us there. If you have any personal questions for me, you can write it to my personal email, which is gil@the5ers.com. It's THE5ERS.com.
Perfect. And Gil, what kind of goal do you have for the future with the platform?
Well, we want to establish, in the last 3 years, we established the program and the website and our marketing in that term for how we reach out to most of the traders community. And so that goal is pretty much now on a very systematic working way. So now our goals is to give more services, deeper services to our community, and develop more living community within our traders, because we've collected a few hundreds active traders by now. And so what we're planning to do in 2020 is to build more structured meeting with our traders that will help them and support them on the mental challenges. We'll create some workshops about this, about the mental challenges, about building a solid trading plan, and sometimes we'll take few of them into coaching and see we'll cherry pick a few traders and we'll work with them how we can create more success with what they bring in. So these are the goals that we want to work to invest more of our knowledge and our experience with our traders.
Cool. And what's your motivation behind the 5%ers? Why? What motivates you in that?
Well, first, I really enjoy working with traders. I wish I could trade more, but since I established this fund, I realized that my time should be dedicated for running this thing. But today we really enjoy meeting traders, see traders and how they progress and how they gain more success and how they being more efficient. My passion, like I said, like an answer for your last question, my passion now is to try to support traders and bring them and give them more success than they are, or to shift traders that are in a break-even situation toward being more consistent in their trading. So I really love working with traders, and I really love sharing my experience. So this is basically the motivation, and seeing this community build up with so many wonderful traders, and it's just give me the perfect playground for bringing out all these ideas that I have. So this is the motivation, basically.
Awesome. Thank you, Gil. I appreciate it. And I'll tell people if they want to kind of connect with you or anything, I'll put a link below the description of the video or in the podcast show note. They can just click there to find your website and sign up for the Power Firm. And look forward to talk to you soon and talk to our listeners soon as well. Thank you.